Now turn the slide. I think we shouldn't even do this today. Oops, back to 2. So do you ever get those calls, people saying you haven't claimed your Google spot yet? You get those calls, nobody here? I get them all the time, and people I know get them. I usually hang up, but this is a very valuable service. Number 3. So when you think about how your website is found online, most people talk about SEO, but in SEO, the algorithm changes all the time, and then things don't work like you expect. I usually say if your writing is good, it doesn't matter what the algorithm is, it's going to work. So then there's social media, which is slow, long-term branding. And there's paid advertising when you're ready to do this. And there's online reviews, and that's what we're talking about today. But first, we're going to make the place to put them. So go on to 1. The reviews go in your.
No, I'm trying. Sorry.
That's okay. They go in your Google business profile. Until last month, it was called Google My Business. You've heard about that. You see them on, whenever you're searching for something and then a company comes up in the upper right-hand corner and you're going, I wonder how they got over there. How come they have all that cool stuff over there? I don't know if anybody thinks that but me, but I do. And this is what this does. This is a Google business profile, and it is free. And Google has a lot of free stuff. They even have a free 1-page website you can build. But as with Google, everything's always just a little more complicated than they say it's going to be. I just want to go up front and say that. It looks like it's, it's easy, but it's never easy. And the other thing is it's a trade-off. Every bit of information you give, they use to advertise to you, and they sell your information and all of that. So it's a trade-off. I have to say that if you use Google at all, they're going to do that anyway, and probably every app on your phone. So maybe you don't need to worry about it, but that's the trade-off. So 5, I want to start with, when we get to it, is to make sure that you open your Gmail before you start making this thing. You're going to open the proper Gmail address. And I want to tell you this, how important this is. A friend of mine has 3 Gmail addresses. And we all have them over the years, right? And they can all be open at the same time in a browser. So she went and she made her Google My Business profile. And then they sent her the card to verify it, and she couldn't find it. It was just gone. It's because it had automatically defaulted to one of her other Gmail addresses. And we had to go find all of her old Gmail accounts and go through it to find it. Now, once we did find it, you can add users, and we fixed it, but it was a pain. So just when you open your Gmail address before you start, make sure that you've got the one you want to use.
Susan, what
yes.
if you don't use Gmail for your?
You can't use their free services. You have to have one. Even if you don't use it to mail anybody, just use it to use their free services. Just make one. I mean, like you don't have to use it for regular email.
I actually think I have one, but I haven't used it so ever.
If you can remember it at all, just go try and type it in and see, and it'll tell you, I don't know, or make a new one. They're free. So it's okay. You could make it, whatever you want it to be. I always tell people when they're a new client of mine to make a Google email that they don't mind if I get in and mess around with, because there's all these services require them to send me an email and say something. So just get a free one, no big deal. And then when you go in, I don't know where I am here. You go into, this is what I was talking about, not yet. This matters, the email address you're using, and you go to business.google.com create, or just type in Google My Business or Google Business Profile, and it will take you to the screen. You can go ahead and turn it, where you have to make your own website. You just follow the directions. It's this is something pretty much you have to do. I can't do it for you because I don't know all of your categories and all of that stuff unless in a real serious session first. But So just fill it out and just keep going through it. Now, go ahead to the next one. Now, the next thing is gonna be, when you're doing it, I want you to make sure if you have a website, open your website, use the same location, the same phone, the same email, not your Gmail email address, the one you want to use for contact purposes. I want all of the information that you use in Google on the Google business profile to match what you're using everywhere else. You know, the website address and everything. Because otherwise it doesn't do well as branding if you have too many. After you get, we're on number 7, let's go to 8. Then you have to verify it. This is a card that comes in the mail. You have to give them your real address because they're going to send you something. You just click that you don't want it displayed. It's no big deal. They have it anyway. I'm telling you, they have everything. But they'll send you this card, and then you have to go back in here and you have to enter this secret number to verify. And that's to make sure that there's really a business located there. They want to make sure you're a real business. They don't want me to put in 15 businesses that are spam and then use it to scam people. They're just making sure somebody's really there. So it's not a bad thing. After you have verified, then you can go in, you can edit anything, you can collect reviews, you can put pictures, you can even put posts like on Facebook. I mean, they usually recommend you use it for sales and stuff, but there is so much you can do, but it has to be verified first, and then after it's verified, it'll be published. So it's like a 2-week process. Next slide. So here's just an example. These are 2 Google listings. If you don't have a referral and you want to choose a business online to call, which of those 2 are you going to call?
2 maids.
2 maids and a mom.
Because they have 5-star reviews. And not only do they have that, they have a lot of them, I think. They're can see here, 15. Yeah. So yeah, that's 15. You know, that's the statistics say that I have to go to the bottom to read these. 97% of consumers search for local businesses online. 87% read online reviews about them. 79% of consumers say they trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations from friends or family. And 73% of consumers only pay attention to reviews written in the last month. So you can't, it's not a one and done. And most consumers look at 2+ review sites before making a decision. So I think that's pretty telling right there. Now we'll go on to slide 10. You have to remind your customers to leave reviews for you. Once this is up, you'll have to tell them to do it. After you get a review, you have to respond to it. Oh, thank you, we love working with you. And sometimes you might get a negative one, and then your response might be, gee, I'm so sorry, it didn't work out for you. Call me at such and such number and we'll work on it. Or something like that. And you have to value these reviews because people see how you respond and they say, oh, I'm not going to respond, I'm not going to put the truth down there. They might call me a jerk, you know? So you have to value those reviews and treat them well. And if somebody puts a negative review on you, you cannot remove it. That's too bad. Sorry.
What about the TV ad that they advertise, you got a bad review, we can help you clean up bad reviews?
I don't know.
They just push it down. They just have a system of putting positive things on there until they push the bad thing down.
Yeah. It's the only, like I have one client, we used to put Google reviews on her website, but she got a bad one and I couldn't remove it at all. So we ended up just taking it off. Now it's been a couple years and she's had more reviews. I'm sure we could put it back up now, but that's there for life.
Wow.
So next slide. Oh, the other thing you can do is if you think there's somebody who might give you a bad review, before you give them the link to put your review up, you can send them a survey, and just a short one. And if they have a bad review, they'll tell you in the survey, they'll vent at you, and you can clean it up there. And then afterwards, send them the link to your review thing. It's like put an extra step if you think, and in fact, you can do that with everyone. You can put the extra step in and catch the bad reviews before they make it into forever time.
Susan,
So it's like a
confused.
firewall.
Yeah,
How do you get, I mean, if you're sending it back to them with the link, how do you know it's gonna be cleaned up before it goes on?
no, I mean, before you send them the link, you send them a survey first, and that would be not through them, through somebody else, through like, just send, yeah, something, or Google Forms or something, and get their information first before you send them, because you have an actual a link to send people to put reviews on. Just don't give it to them yet.
What about not ever giving it to them?
That's a good plan too. But some of those people still find their ways there. So, and you can also check, I mean, you can't really find who gave you the review unless they reveal it in there. Like my friend, a doctor, told a patient she couldn't come back anymore because she kept missing appointments and she missed revenue by not being able to schedule. So she said, I'm sorry, you can't come anymore. And she gave her the nastiest review you ever saw. And she knew who it was, and she went and, she clicked and she couldn't tell who it was, but she saw that all of her reviews were nasty. And so and she did eventually just go remove it on her own. Lisa didn't do anything. She just removed it. But, there's nothing she could have done to stop that. Not a thing. Yes.
Does it make a difference when a business owner replies?
Right.
Does it help?
It helps a lot.
Okay,
And that's what I mean about honoring all of your reviews. If you reply to them, they feel like they have been acknowledged. And the other people who look at them say, oh, this is a company that cares.
okay.
So, and if somebody does give you a bad one, that's what I said, you can say, oh, gee, I'm so sorry you had a bad experience, call me.
Do you
Yeah.
publish that under the bad review
Mhm.
so that the public knows you're attempting to
Right.
take care of whatever?
Right. Now, all of this happens after you have this Google thing set up, right? You can't get any reviews until it's all set up. And so I'm on page 11. So let's say that you've done everything and you've got it set up. Now, you have to get back to it. If you want to see, I'm going to say, let's go to I'm on 11. When you're signed in, no, that's okay, I've got this. Check your reviews on the Google Map app. So if I open Google Map on my phone, there are tabs across the top of it. And one of them is reviews. This is also new. This is also new. And sorry. And so you can go there and click the reviews and you can do your responding right there in Google Maps. There's also an app that's specifically for Google reviews, or you can just go online, make sure your email is open, and then you can go do it on the computer. So there's several different ways that you can respond. And can you go to the next one then? This is the form when you see your business and you have it open and you click reviews, it's going to give you this. This is business. This is just to remind you that you get twice as many customers if you have reviews. But this is the link that you can give to people, or you can just click the email, WhatsApp, and Facebook. And there are ways to connect this with your Facebook. So if you get reviews there, they go here. You have to connect them. It's not just that. But so that's one thing. 12. I'm sorry, I'm trying to hurry y'all. This takes hours to do, so it's hard to talk about in a few minutes. But this gives you ways to send people, and this is the link. Copy and put it in the email if it's a good customer. Number 13. So after you've done verifying, which is that card and everything, you can edit everything. You can put pictures up. You can put your logos up. You can put, I have a friend, I think he's on the next slide. Go to the next one. This is what it looks like. Over here, Shaw's Excellent Cleaning Service, Greg Shaw, if y'all know him. This is up there. This is, he's got pictures in there. There's a place you can put posts. He posts pictures of what he does. So, I mean, he doesn't have to say very much. If you've got something dirty and it looks clean, we got it, you know? So the next one is more. If you go scrolling on down, here's some of his reviews. And there's, look at Google, view all Google reviews. And that's where you can go to see them. Okay, so all you really do to view your profile after it's up is type your name into the Google search engine. And as long as you don't do the .com, it'll put this up in the right-hand column. And then you can just start clicking on it and you can even edit your pictures over here, just click on them. As long as your Gmail is open in another tab, so it knows that it's you. And also that works better with the Chrome browser too. So, okay, go to the next one, that's 15. I guess that's pretty much it. Google has a lot of free services. Like I said, they have some that cost a lot too. But you just, when you're deciding whether to do it yourself, you decide how much you make an hour, divide it by how much time you think it's going to take. And if it's too much, and I also said in here, add 2 hours because it's always slower than you think. And then if you want me to help you with it, this is a service I offer. And I'm going to be offering a review service for across the board in about a month. So anyway, any questions real quick? Because I know we have a party to go to.
One
Yes.
quick question on verification, back on verifying. Our business location is actually a PO box. Would that be a problem?
Yes,
You have to have a physical address to get a verification card. You have to put that on there. But when you list it on how people get a hold of you, it is okay to list the PO box there. What's publicly displayed is different than what they need to send you a verification.
So public can be the PO, but to get business verification must be an actual
Right.
residential or brick
It's
and mortar.
it's supposed to be the brick and mortar, but mine's residential because I work out of my house.
a long time ago, I didn't want anybody to know my real address. And so I use a UPS box that has a real address. It's in Germantown. And I just put on there in parentheses, mailing address only, but it is a physical address, but it's the UPS, that's where my UPS box is. It's 2095 Exeter Road, number 80, Germantown. And I use that and they took it.
Almost all of them, those little mailbox stores will give you their physical address because they say they can't deliver packages there too. But if you put your actual physical address, they can. So, so yeah, that's a cool thing to know. Thank you for that. Okay, any other questions? We got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Please take me.
Yes.
This is not cut off.